I'm Jennifer Bute and I live in Richmond Village in Cheltenham. I always wanted to be a doctor. Once I broke my leg and I was taken to hospital on the bus and it was dislocated because I'd been made to walk around it at school, and they put it right without an anaesthetic. But I was quite impressed. And I thought, well, this is good. I'd rather like to be a doctor. That's a strange way to start off, isn't it? Well, I always think when I went out to Africa for the second time, and I ran a 200-bed hospital by myself, really. I was usually the only doctor there, almost always the only doctor. And I had to do everything. Medicine, surgery, outpatients, lab work, the lot. I couldn't have done it without God's help as well. You know, I'm not that clever. But it was just a wonderful accomplishment, and I didn't think I could ever do something like that. There were no other hospitals around. It was in the middle of nowhere. Well, it was interesting. I had hoped to go on one of the Mercy ships, and they had accepted me with my qualifications and experience. And when I arrived for the interview, I can still remember walking into the room full of men, and their faces fell, and they looked at me in horror. And I said, what's the matter? I've come, you know, just to meet you because you've told me you'd like me. We can't have you because you're a woman, they said. So I thought, okay. So I went to Africa instead. Well, it's happened frequently, and I think it's quite funny. It's not what happens to you, it's how you respond to what happens to you, isn't it? And so when it happened, school decided that they wouldn't help me in my application to medical school because all girls were meant to be nurses, not doctors. So I thought, okay, I'll apply to the one that doesn't like women, which was Bart's, which was the best medical school. And so I applied to them and wrote a covering letter to explain why, and they accepted me. And then, of course, you have to work your whole way through with it. I mean, when I became a GP, and I couldn't believe at the end of the first month, the men all had an extra nought on the end of their pounds. It's because I was a woman. So what did I do? Complain? No. I thought, okay, I'm going to change this. Well, I made myself indispensable to them, didn't I? And eventually worked my way up through the system and became the managing partner. And the first thing I did was to change the pay structure, wasn't it? It was quite difficult at first because most people don't believe I have dementia because I can cover it up very well, and the first neurologist wouldn't even do any investigations. He wouldn't. Before I sat down, he said, there's nothing the matter with you, which I found humiliating. But when eventually they did do all the tests, they discovered that I jolly well did have dementia. And then, of course, I didn't recognise people. I was chairing a meeting, a room full of people, which I'd done many, many times before. And I said to the person over there, please introduce yourself, because I haven't met you before. And they said, don't be so stupid, Jenny, we've worked together for 20 years. And I realised I had to resign. So I resigned. So I decided to carry on my career. Instead of teaching, I was lecturing. I was lectured at the university, and I taught doctors and nurses. So, well, another opportunity, let's teach people about dementia. So I have a new career in lecturing and teaching about dementia all around the country and internationally as well, which is wonderful. So it hasn't been a down thing, it's been an up thing. As women, we have a responsibility towards other women as well to lead the way for them, because if we don't, what about the people that are following after? I mean, the Mercy ships I was talking about, they have women now. You don't let it go, you accept it at the time, but you then do something about it. Well, I think I'd also say don't be unkind to men, because I think sometimes now women have gone too far. We need each other, we're different. You know, we're not the same. But that's one of the strengths of it all. But there are things that women can do that men also do. But let's work together. We're not in competition. Today we're celebrating International Women's Day, when we remember that women also have a tremendous impact and potential for doing good things in our world and society.